Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Kaif Shakir and I am foundation level student at Rehan School Affairs Campus Islamabad, and today I am doing my callannie and my topic is sky. So let's start it. Hello Miles, can you listen me?
I hear you loud and clear. The sky, huh? That's a dope
Today
topic.
I
I'm
have
ready when
some
you
question for you. So can we start it?
shoot.
Okay. My first question is that what is the sky?
Basically, it's everything above our heads. But if you want the science side, it's actually just the atmosphere, that layer of gases like nitrogen and oxygen that wraps around the Earth. When you look up and see that big blue expanse, you're actually just looking through all those gases and particles scattering sunlight.
Why does the sky appear blue?
It's all about how sunlight hits the atmosphere. Sunlight looks white, but it's actually made of all the colors of the rainbow. Blue light travels in shorter, smaller waves, so when it hits the gases in our atmosphere, it gets scattered in every direction. That's why when you look up, blue is the color that hits your eyes from everywhere.
What causes the sky to change colors?
It's basically a light show based on distance. When the sun is low on the horizon, like during sunrise or sunset, the light has to travel through way more of the atmosphere to reach you. By the time it gets there, the blue light has been scattered away completely, leaving behind the longer wavelengths, the reds, oranges, and pinks. It's like the atmosphere is filtering out the blue and leaving the warm colors for the finale.
Why does the sky look different at sunrise and sunset?
It's basically the same magic as the color change, just about the angle. Since the sun is sitting right on the edge of the world, the light is hitting the atmosphere at a sharp angle. It has to push through a lot more dust and thick air than it does at noon, which wipes out the blues and lets those deep reds and golds take over. It's like the light's taking the long way home.
Okay, my next question is that what is atmosphere?
Think of it as Earth's personal blanket. It's that thick layer of gases, mostly nitrogen and oxygen, that surrounds the planet. It doesn't just give us air to breathe, it also shields us from the sun's harsh rays and keeps the temperature from swinging too wild. Without it, we'd be floating in a frozen void. Pretty wild when you think about it.
Okay, my next question is that how many layers does Earth's atmosphere have?
It's got five main ones. You got the troposphere, uh, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and finally the exosphere. Um, each one does its own thing, like where the weather happens or where the space station hangs out.
What is the atmosphere important?
It's basically our survival kit. First off, it gives us the oxygen we need to breathe, but it also acts like a massive shield, blocking harmful radiation from the sun and burning up most space rocks before they hit the ground. Plus, it traps heat so we don't freeze the second the sun goes down. Without it, Earth would be a dead, silent rock.
What gases make up the atmosphere?
It's mostly a mix of two big players. Nitrogen takes up the lion's share, about 78%. Then you got oxygen at around 21%, which is the part we actually use. The last 1% is a cocktail of other stuff like argon and carbon dioxide. Not much, but that tiny bit of carbon dioxide is what helps keep the planet warm.
How are clouds formed?
It all starts with water evaporating. When the sun heats up water in oceans or lakes, it turns into invisible water vapor and rises. As it gets higher, the air cools down, and that vapor turns back into tiny liquid water droplets. They cling to little bits of dust or salt in the air, and when billions of those droplets huddle together, you get a cloud. It's basically just a massive floating collection of mist.
Why do clouds have different shapes?
That's all about how the air is moving. Think of it like sculptures made of air. If the air is rising slowly and smoothly, you get those flat, wide sheets. But if there are wild currents or warm air punching through cold air, you get those big fluffy towers that look like cotton candy. Basically, the wind is the artist and the temperature is the tool.
Okay.
You're
What
on a roll.
causes rain? I said
The
what
heavy stuff.
causes rain?
My bad. I got ahead of myself. Rain happens when those clouds we were talking about get too crowded. As more water vapor condenses into droplets, they get bigger and heavier. Eventually, they're just too heavy for the air to hold them up, so gravity takes over and they fall as rain.
Okay.
Simple as that.
What creates
Cut off
thunderstorms?
there. Those are basically nature's power plays. You need three things for a thunderstorm to go down: moisture, unstable air, and a spark to get it moving. Warm, wet air rises fast like a rocket, and when it hits the cold air high up, it condenses into those massive towering clouds. All that movement creates static electricity, which is where you get the lightning and the boom of the thunder. It's basically a giant atmospheric battery discharging.
Why does lightning occur?
It's basically a giant spark of static electricity. Inside those big storm clouds, bits of ice and water droplets are bumping into each other like crazy, which builds up a huge electrical charge. The top of the cloud becomes positive and the bottom becomes negative. When that tension gets too high, the electricity just snaps, shooting a bolt down to the ground or another cloud to balance things out. It's basically the same thing as getting a shock from a doorknob, just on a massive, terrifying scale.
What is the sky darker at night?
Because the sun's gone. Since the earth is rotating, your part of the world is facing away from the sun. Without that sunlight hitting the atmosphere to scatter the blue light, there's nothing to light up the sky. You're basically looking straight into the dark void of space, which is why you can finally see the stars.
Why do eclipses happen?
Wait, what exactly are you referring to? You mean the way the day turns into night or something else?
How are stars born? Stars born.
They start out in these massive cold clouds of gas and dust called nebulae. Gravity starts pulling all that dust and gas together into a tight ball. As it gets tighter, it gets hotter and hotter until it hits a breaking point. Then it ignites in a massive nuclear explosion and starts shining. It's basically a giant ball of hydrogen turning into helium, and it just keeps burning for billions of years.
Why do stars twinkle?
That's actually a bit of an optical illusion. Stars are so far away that they're basically just tiny points of light. As that light travels through our atmosphere, it hits different layers of warm and cold air that are constantly shifting. This bends the light back and forth, making the star look like it's shimmering or twinkling from our perspective. It's basically the air playing tricks on your eyes.
Okay. So Vivar,
You're
this is
flying through
my
the.
colony. Hopes you like it. Meet it in your next video. Meet in your next video. Pakistan Zindabad. Khuda Hafiz.